Part 2. Silver Snow. Ethereal Moon. Reunion at Dawn. It is Imperial Year 1185. Nearly 5 years have passed since the fall of the monastery at Garreg Mach, and war continues to plague the lands of Fodlan. Ferdiad has been captured. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in shambles. The Leicester Alliance is on the verge of collapse, fractured by two opposing factions, those who support the Adrestian Empire and its ruler, and those who seek her demise. Meanwhile, under Emperor Edelgard's rule of law, the Adrestian Empire continues to expand its reach. The path to a new Fodlan, unified by Imperial strength, may yet be in sight.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you. Excuse me? Are you saying you have forgotten who I am? How dare you! Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Seiros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Anyway, I've heard some thieves have been spotted around those parts these days. Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing it all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? I told you. They say thieves are running amok up there. And there's plenty of other dangers, too. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Students? You really are crazy, aren't you? There aren't any kids anywhere near that place anymore. Unbelievable.
Why am I even here? I know they won't come, but here I am anyway. How has it already been 5 years? Time stops for no one, I suppose. Huh? It's you! What are you doing here? Highly doubtful. So you were alive? What have you been doing all this time? Choking at a time like this. Well, if you don't wish to tell me, I won't try to persuade you. All that matters is this. Will you return to the Empire with me? As expected, I knew your answer before I had even asked the question. That means we're enemies now, you and I. My teacher, the time for discussion has come to an end.
Even though our swords may cross as they do now.
There's no denying that our chosen paths never will. Goodbye, my teacher. When next we meet, one of us will breathe their last.
Who is it? Is that... It's you! Yes, it has been. But this is no time for casual chatter. After you disappeared 5 years ago, do you have any idea how dire the Church's situation became? Where were you? And what were you doing all of those years? You slept for 5 years. In that case, I suppose there is nothing more to say. You should know that Rhea also disappeared after the battle at Garreg Mach 5 years ago. Since then, the Knights have been fully devoted to searching for her. They have yet to find a trace. It is possible. However, the Empire has not made any such statement as of yet. Even if that were the truth, there is no way for us to confirm. We have searched all over, but we have reached an impasse. Unless we do something, our efforts to find Rhea and rebuild the Church will be stalled indefinitely. Our opportunity to strike back is close at hand. Sadly, we are short on military strength. However, now we have you. Do you recall what Rhea told you 5 years ago? She asked for you to take her place should anything ever happen to her. She entrusted you with leading the people of Fodlan. Then I beg of you, please heed her words. It is up to you to lead us, and to defeat the Empire. No, to defeat Edelgard. There is a very good reason, but it is not yet time to divulge it. Just know that without you, we have no hope.
Sir, bandits have entered the area. They stole some hidden weapons and ran off. They're heading for the town, so that might be where they're hiding out.
Vile thieves! Even with the Knights gone, I cannot believe they would dare trespass here. This is unforgivable. Come, Professor. Let us give chase!
In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Imperial loyalist Cornelia has subdued all regions of the former royal house of Blavid to prevent further revolt. Prince Dimitri has been sentenced. Now, the backbone of the former kingdom, Houses Gautier and Fraldarius, struggle to continue the resistance. Cornelia, operating out of the royal palace, has accepted the support of the Empire to build an army and plots to wipe out all remaining kingdom forces. In the Leicester Alliance, House Regan leads an anti-imperial faction, while House Gloucester directs the Empire's supporters. Despite the undeniable threat of fracture, the Alliance's adept new leader, Claude, deftly maintains the outward appearance of a unified front. In Enbar, the imperial capital of the Adrestian Empire, Emperor Edelgard fights to strengthen her regime. She has extended her reach to the kingdom by inciting a coup and continues to draw its former lords under her influence in pursuit of controlling all of Western Fodlan. In the meantime, the Knights of Seiros have been dispatched to find Archbishop Rhea, who remains missing despite their searching. Left unattended, the monastery at Garreg Mach has fallen to ruin and become a haven for thieves.
Looters deserve no forgiveness! After them!
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
Stop the thieves! Retrieve our stolen goods! Guide me well. I won't allow it.
What's my strategy? It's over! I must lead them well. Watch and learn! There's no turning back now. Judgment is passed! That is all. This could turn the tides. All is going to plan. Here is something to believe in! This could turn the tides. I'm stronger than before. All is going to plan.
We had no place to go, so we came back to Garrick Mach. But then... Huh? Professor?
Looks like there's a fight. I'm ready to join the battle.
It is confirmed that Professor is alive. I will be... cooperating.
What are you doing here?
Never mind, we'll have to talk later. Help us with these thieves.
I will prevail.
Put me in there.
More fighting.
I'm grateful.
Attack at your own risk.
Let's do this right. No use.
Will this ever end?
I'm so glad I get to see you again, Professor. Might makes right.
Witness frigid pride.
This could turn the tides.
Try to keep up!
People? A battle? Oh, there wasn't supposed to be anyone here! Wait, is that... Professor?
Professor, you're alive after all. Well then, I am quite pleased with my choice to come here.
Professor! Never mind. We have to focus on winning this fight.
Lend us a hand. Let's beat them back.
I do this for all of us.
Ready for anything. I'm awake. I hate this feeling. Was any of this worth it?
You're all going down. The results speak for themselves.
Destiny unfurls. Had I room to grow? Apologies.
All is going to plan. Allow me to demonstrate! Another victory. I'll have to be clever. comes down to this.
If we split our troops in two, we can attack from the north and the south to trap their leader.
Okay, I'm gonna do it! Ha!
Oh!
Bernie's unstoppable.
Spot on.
Only the strong survive.
I owe you one.
All this power just to survive.
I won't allow it.
Big win!
Do you remember our promise from 5 years ago, Professor? Today's the day.
do what it takes. An encouraging display.
It won't be in vain. There is still room for it.
Still here.
I went back to Bridget once, but I had to be returning to Foblin.
Let's try this!
Pretty good, huh?
Is it too late to run?
No use! Each battle a victory. Winning is what matters.
Don't blame me. I must pull through.
You shall not survive!
Destiny unfurls.
Dying would defeat the purpose. Fight, then rest. Battle does have its benefits.
Predictable. Another victory.
I'm not the one you want. I guess I've got no choice.
That really helped.
There must be more to this.
What's my strategy?
It isn't looking good for us. Should we retreat?
He has some treasure from the monastery too. Do not let him escape.
You should yield me a tidy profit. They won't see this coming.
It won't be in vain.
Watch and learn.
This could turn the tides.
My age is catching up to me.
Now is the time to master this.
I thought it would be easy money. Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
That man used to be a merchant here at the monastery. He must have fallen on hard times to take up with those thieves. It seems we were able to expel the bandits who were hiding in Garreg Mach. How fortuitous that you students should gather at the monastery like this.
We made a promise with the professor. That was 5 years ago to the very day.
We all gave our promise to be meeting here when the Millennium Festival arrived.
Though the one who came up with that plan is not here. Edelgard. Still, how incredible that those present gathered despite the terrible state of things.
The most incredible part of it is that you didn't oversleep and miss the reunion.
So, that is the reason. Professor, the monastery is safe because of your devoted students. I am now fully convinced that you are the only one who can save Fodlan. Ah, so you have finally accepted your destiny. On the very day I return to Garreg Mach, you awaken and return as well. This is no mere coincidence, but rather the work of the goddess. Actually, well, it will be easier to just show you. Come with me to the Holy Mausoleum. I realize that since you've been slumbering for so long, you have no idea what has transpired in the various territories. Allow me to explain. After the Battle of Garreg Mach, there was a change of regime in the kingdom. House Blaiddyd suffered a series of brutal massacres, which claimed the lives of Dimitri and Regent Rufus. The kingdom capital fell and was absorbed into the Empire as the Fargus Dukedom, which is now under Cornelia's control. Some still resist the Empire. As of now, Rodrigue of House Fraldarius is at the center of such efforts. In the Alliance, Claude leads the faction that opposes the Empire, and Lawrence leads those who have sided with them. The front lines are ever in motion, but the war effort has stagnated overall. In short, both the Kingdom and the Alliance have been swallowed up by the Empire and are on the verge of collapse. We must gather our generals and soldiers under your command and reverse this dire situation. Flayn, look! The Professor has returned to us.
What do you mean? Oh, goodness! It really is you, Professor! I cannot believe you are still of this world! We were so worried we would never see you again! I forgot something important at the Holy Mausoleum. I told my brother that I had to go back for it no matter what, and so here I am.
After we finished here, we were going to continue our search for Rhea. But now that you are here, things have changed. We must not waste this opportunity. We shall send word to the knights scattered all across the land. The time has come for the Knights of Seiros to return to action. We are counting on you, Professor.
Part 2. Silver Snow. Guardian Moon. A king without a kingdom. Having parted ways with Edelgard, former students of the Black Eagle House now work alongside the Knights of Seiros at Garreg Mach. They begin to create a resistance army strong enough to take on her Imperial forces.
Ah, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Seteh told us everything. From here on out, you will have our aid.
I am so grateful that everyone is safe. I am sorry things are moving so rapidly, but there is something we must discuss. Come with me. The time has come to make our true stand against the Empire. Our base will be Garreg Mach Monastery. The interior is in less than prime condition, but we should be able to utilize it much the same as we had before.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
It may be an area of importance, but it is far removed from the front lines. Considering the burden of transport, it is possible they are not paying too much attention to it.
Nothing escapes the Emperor. There must at least be a spy or two.
Professor, what do you think? I see. Then it must be the right idea.
The town and surrounding hamlets are still present. And though far from abundant, the church still has funds at its disposal.
That's true. Professor, I think we can leave expanding our army to my brother. He was always good at negotiating, and I believe he is best suited to the task.
In that case, I have a request. Please allow my soldiers to join your ranks as well. House Sire already tried taking on the Emperor. As a result, our territory was stolen from us. As a consequence, I do not have many soldiers left to speak of, but those I have are yours to command.
I feel like I should tell you that I've been protecting some kids who lost their parents in the war. They're in the town right now, but maybe we can move them to the monastery? I'm sure they'd be happy to chip in however they can.
Yes, I understand. I will make the necessary arrangements.
I nabbed some valuables from my house. Father is with the Emperor now, so... It's not much, but it's yours.
I don't have a thing to contribute. In fact, I'm still in my same old clothes.
I've been wandering on my own for 5 years. I won't go back to that house or my father, that's for sure.
I understand. Leave it to me. No labor is too great if it means saving Fodlan.
Take that! Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. She put my father under house arrest. She stripped House Ire of its power. Rather than accepting a role as her puppet, I left. Now I fight to topple the Empire. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Ire, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate that, but it is not enough to persuade me. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
Thanks for your help out there. Battles tend to go smoother with you around. I think you did most of the heavy lifting. It may be unwise to think this way on the battlefield, but I feel I can trust your commands without question. Not sure. I might have an idea, but never mind. I've also noticed that you've been putting me in more precarious situations lately. Almost like you know I won't question your orders. Ha! I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but still, I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leading the charge against the Empire. Funny to think you used to just teach at the Officers' Academy. Your old students still call you Professor. That's no title for the commander of an army. You'll always be their professor, huh? You sure are an interesting one. My people lost the war, and I was left to wander Fodlan alone, but I guess meeting you was my prize. You look confused. Did you not know any of this? I was living in my homeland of Dagda up until the Imperial Army destroyed it 10 years ago. But being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. That's why I'm working here now. Don't worry though, I don't plan to turn on you.
Thank you.
Why am I having so much trouble fighting these tall guys? They're not even stronger than me. You've got to help me come up with a strategy, Linhardt.
Is that not a waste of time? Even if I handed you a perfect strategy, something I've done in the past, you'd never follow it through.
That's because your plans are always so complicated. But come on, I need your help.
All right, I will share with you my tactical genius. I call this my secret plan.
You already have a plan? You really are ready for anything. So, what is it?
Land the first hit. Then keep hitting them hard and fast as you can until they stop hitting you back.
So, you're basically telling me to just fight?
Dodge their attacks, keep up the assault, then go for the knees. Done.
The secret is the knees?
Being tall means short people are closer to your knees. Exploit the enemy's weakness, Caspar.
Makes sense. That doesn't sound like my style, though. I don't really want to exploit a weakness.
Then go ahead and continue losing. Or you can listen to the rest of my plan.
There's more? Fine. Tell me the rest.
Your defense is careless. The last bit of my secret is that you need to train in that area.
I won't argue with training. Let's go!
No, I don't think we should...
It's been 5 years. You've got to be at least as strong as I am by now. Come on! You've even got that height advantage you're always going on about. You're the perfect training partner for me. Quit stalling and let's go.
Fine. I'll train with you, but only for a bit.
All right, Linhardt. Come at me again.
Caspar, please. I need water. I need water. I'm gonna go get some. Bye.
Huh? Hey, get back here! He got away.
Shamir, you are training away from the ground of training.
Ah, Petra. Well, it looks like it might rain.
I have understanding. Rain training can cause unhealthiness. Can I give you a question now?
Sure.
You come from Dagda, I think. Why are you working at the monastery?
You can tell I'm from Dagda? Oh, I suppose Bridget is our neighbor. As for why I work here, that's simple. I work to live. I also have an interest in seeing what happens to your professor. I don't plan to return to Dagda anytime soon.
But Fodlan is an enemy for you, right? Are you feeling okay about that?
The only ones I've fought in person are the Imperial Army. I carry no ill will toward anyone else.
I have gratitude for your answering. You have given me understanding.
How about you? Do you hate them? The Empire is your father's enemy, no? And it's Dagda's fault that Bridget got pulled into the war at all. So, do you hate Dagda? Or do you see that as none of your concern?
The fault is not of Dagda. My father made his own choice to be joining the war. I cannot say I have no hatred for the Empire, but I do not have any for Edelgard. When I came here, she was always helping me.
Makes sense. You can hate a country without hating its people.
You speak with such honesty. It is very amazing.
I'm not that special. I just don't let emotions get in my way.
I think I'm gonna pass out. Oh, Lysithea? You're really pale. Yeah, I've been feeling really queasy all morning. I'm just heading back to my quarters to rest. Can you even make it there in that state? Here, climb on my back. I'll carry you. What? No. I'm not some sort of infant. Always worried about looking like a kid. No time for that now. Just get on. I'm feeling a bit better now. I should be okay from here. Thank you so much, Leonie. I hope I wasn't too heavy. Was I? No, not at all. Actually made for a fun bit of training. Training? Yeah. Carrying someone around is good for the legs. You're just the right weight for it, too. I might ask you to help me train again sometime. Anything can be a kind of training with the right attitude, you know? Are you always thinking about training? Well, I can't devote all my time purely to training, so it's more efficient if I can train while I get other stuff done at the same time. Wouldn't that actually be rather inefficient? Huh? What do you mean? Well, for example, if you're training for endurance, it seems running would be a better approach. If you're only ever training by cramming it in with other tasks, you won't be getting the best results. I'm no expert on the subject, but even I can logic that one out. Come to think of it, you do always seem to stick to a pretty rigid schedule, don't you? I've noticed that you focus completely on whatever it is you've set out to do. Then you switch to something else and focus completely on that. You've noticed, have you? Now that I think about it, you may be right. Maybe that is the more efficient way to do things. Hey, you're really bright, Lysithea. Thanks so much for the helpful advice. That was sweet of Leonie to check on me and carry me all the way to my quarters. And in the end, I just lectured her. She did thank me for it, but I probably could have handled that better.
I am now closer to my goal.
Maybe. At last, I return to my domain. My lonely paradise. My realm of exquisite solitude. Huh? Professor? Is that you? You didn't hear that just now, did you? Right! You didn't? Well, good.
Hey, Professor. I know that we didn't plan to stop at the monastery, but I'm glad we did. I'm happy to be here with everyone again. Right? It's as though we went back in time 5 years. I feel like my old self again.
Do you have time for a request?
Professor, these days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
I'd given up on ever seeing you again. Where have you been hiding? Anyway, now that we're reunited in the land of the living, I must fulfill my promise. That's right. I promised the captain I'd protect you in his stead, and now I'll make good on my word.
Pardon me.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You know, it's such a thrill to be able to greet you like this again. I almost died as well in the battle 5 years ago, but I won't allow any enemies to get into this place again. I promise you that. Even if the Death Knight shows up, I'll be sure to... Well, for now I'll keep training, so I can eventually feel confident that I can stop him.
Got a favor to ask.
Pardon me.
Hey, I could use a hand.
I need a favor.
Professor.
You've done me a great service.
Professor? This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Middle Franc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Professor, I have a proposal. Why not go beyond the Knights of Seiros? Instead, uniting with allies from all across Fodlan to fight for our cause. Looking back, it would have been best to ally with the Kingdom and join forces against the Empire. But now the Kingdom is not exactly, well...
Professor! Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops. Much appreciated, but there's a reason I need to bring this to your attention. Do you recall the incident 5 years ago involving a suspicious individual in Garreg Mach? These brigands all bore the same scorpion tattoo that we found on the arm of that man.
Oh no.
I thought that might be of interest to you. Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens. But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner, and I wouldn't have blood on my hands. It's no use trying to comfort me. You know I'm right. Just say it. Those poor knights. It's all my fault.
I'm more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around.
In Lady Rhea's absence, I will follow you. That's what she would want me to do. Know that wherever you might lead us, I'll continue searching for Lady Rhea. Good, because I will not budge on that point. Welcome back, Professor.
Yes.
Yes. I come from the Empire, but I have no intention of ever returning. This war the Emperor instigated has caused nothing but trouble and pain. I want this war to end. And that's why I'm here, fighting with you.
can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about. At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come. It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefields just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before. A new place? All on my own? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me. You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they? Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world. No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? I thought we were finally getting close. Guess I'm not good enough for that, though, am I? I'll let you have this one, but you better be ready for next time.
The promise was made 5 years ago, but I must say I'm rather impressed by how many of us managed to make it. Personally, I only showed up because I hope to see you again, Professor. I've been with my family in the Empire until recently. I admit to feeling a little guilty betraying Her Majesty, but only a little. Now that we're all together again, I suppose the fighting will begin soon.
I've grown weary and impatient. These past 5 years, my hands have been bound. But now, I can finally take action with a clear goal. I'm grateful to you and to everyone. Down with the Empire. Surely peace will soon follow if the Empire is overthrown. Then my parents can finally find peace themselves.
I don't know anything about rebuilding, but I can sure do my best to clean up the mess. I'm gonna keep Lady Rhea's room spotless, so she can use it right away whenever she gets back. You gotta find her, Professor. You just gotta.
Thankfully, it appears the records and equipment I need for my research have not been damaged. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
My professor, you haven't changed a bit. At your age, I'd expect your whole demeanor to have changed greatly over 5 years. Though, I suppose I haven't changed either, right? Thank you for noticing, by the way. Ah, just the two of us, forever young. Oh, let me have my fun.
With the return of its knights, Garrick Mach is finally coming back to life. The Church of Seiros will follow you from now on, but please do not abandon the search for Lady Rhea. Thank you. I know the battles ahead will be dire, but we will support you with all our strength. With the Church of Seiros, I have something to ask of you.
The town I'd been living in came under attack by the Empire's army. My parents were both caught up in the fighting and killed. I've got no home to go back to anymore, so I guess I may as well stay here.
You're here, Professor, along with everyone from our old class. It's like we've gone back in time. When I think that I'll be around you again, all of my sorrows just drift away. Yes. I'll at least try not to hold anyone back. Let's work together for the common good, like we did 5 years ago.
Even with the church in shambles, we can still pray. The goddess will surely hear our prayers. But still, I hope the church can return to its former beauty someday.
Need something? See you again soon.
It's been fixed up quite a bit, but its battle scars aren't so easily erased.
To think that a glorious cathedral with a 1,000-year history would end up like this. I'll rebuild this place someday. This cathedral is the symbol of Fodlan. Maybe I should paint a picture of the beautiful cathedral of old. Well, I still remember what it looked like.
Professor. Thank you for helping me with my training again today, Professor. I'm gonna keep at it for a while longer, so you go on ahead. I can't. Not when I'm right on the cusp of using my power to greater potential. Surely you yourself are tired. Just don't worry about me, okay? I'm sorry, Professor. It was careless of me to continue, despite how fatigued I clearly was. I probably should have listened to you. Now I've made a mess of things. I can't help but feel the need to rush in all things constantly. You get that way when you realize you haven't got much time. "18 years ago, House Ordelia was involved in a civil conflict within the Empire. All we did was respond to a call for aid. We weren't involved politically. But once the rebellion was crushed, my family was held responsible for the aid we gave, and the Empire gained some sway over us as a result. At the time, the noble houses of the Alliance took a passive stance. No one lent aid to my family. As a result, some key officials within the family were killed, and people from the Empire were sent to replace them. Among those people were some mysterious mages. They were unsettling, in a word, skin pale as death. One after another, they captured and imprisoned the children of our household. They began performing terrible rituals on the children, though it's probably more accurate to call them experiments. With the Empire monitoring our every move, my parents could do nothing but watch in horror as all of this unfolded. One after another, the children died, until the only one left was me. You know, my hair wasn't always this color. During their experiments, they'd been doing things with my blood. One morning, I awoke like this. A shock of white hair, all trace of pigment gone. Upon seeing me, the mages were delighted. They realized that their experiments had finally succeeded. Sure enough, they ran a test and saw that 2 crests coexisted within me. Losing pigment from my hair wasn't the only loss. The mages informed me that my lifespan was now greatly shortened. 5 more years at most, perhaps less. Shortly thereafter, the mages lost interest in me, and we never saw them in the Ordelia household again. Since all that, our family has been in decline. It's challenging now even to govern our territory. After all my mother and father have suffered, I at least want them to have peace as they grow older. That is all I wish for. But I haven't much time to ensure it comes to pass. It's not like what's been done to me can be undone. Professor. The only way I can conceive of would be to remove my crest somehow. But I don't know if that's even remotely possible. Even if it were, I wouldn't be of much use to you and the others without my crests. You sound resolved. I'll allow your resolve to bolster my own. Thank you, Professor.
you.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom in alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, you're always watching over me, aren't you? I've spent my entire life avoiding people. Speaking to others was so difficult for me, so I made a point to always be alone. Animals and the Goddess were the only ones I could really open up to. Do you remember the time you asked what it was I prayed for? Yes, but that wasn't the case. Back then, I felt that my life served no purpose, and that I was nothing more than a burden. In truth, I was begging the Goddess to take me to her. That was my daily prayer. But now I fear the idea of dying and being left alone. I have friends who accept me for who I am now, in spite of my crest. And I have you watching over me. I finally learned to accept the kindness and warmth of others. It's because of you, Professor. Because of you, I've decided to live. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I'm all right now. Even if I'm separated from you or any of my friends, the memories I've made here will give me the strength to continue on. Oh, I'm sure I'll have the strength to move forward if we're together.
Professor! Hey, Professor! You won't believe what happened. I figured I couldn't go back to the Empire after Garrick Mach fell, so I started drifting across the Kingdom in Alliance. Then, I just happened to run into our old class, so we came back to the monastery together.
Fighting alongside you and everyone else is a dream come true, Professor. And don't worry about my little sis. Right now, she's back home helping out with the family business. I kind of figured I was going to be stuck going back and taking over for her. But thanks to you guys, I get to work on my dream of becoming a proper knight.
Yummy! Who made this? I'll have to give my compliments to the chef.
Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
A country with no king has no future. That's why I made my way here. Professor, don't let me down. Yes, let's. Find me a worthy opponent to battle, and I'll be content.
Professor, it's not just for my village that I'm fighting alongside you here, you know. It's also that Captain Gerald asked me, his first and greatest apprentice, to look out for you. Of course, it wouldn't be enough just to keep you alive. It's my duty to make sure you win, too. So do your best, Professor, and count on me to watch your back.
Not for myself, for everyone. Not for myself, for everyone. Each battle a victory. No use. I fight for justice's name.
Good. Thanks.
Hello.
Professor? So I said, two can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people. Right, I got it. I knew you'd say we were just friends. I'd like to maybe talk about this once the war is over. Once we're all safe. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are one or two men? What's wrong is, it's not just one or two men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more! I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood! Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got them.
Hi there.
That looks delicious. Goddess forgive me, I've just got to indulge.
This food is a revelation. I can't help but smile when I eat it.